Good evening and welcome back. So, um, I. Good evening and welcome back. So, that's muted now. Sorry about that. Um, I fixed a bit of formatting here. And if we jump in, you should see that I also added a bit of text. And the first two questions basically are done this way. Something I need to do, I need to make this a bit wider. So that I don't have one word down here. And the other thing I need to figure out is if there's a way to have this completely justified. So it's the text is in a specific area only. Well, it's specific widths basically. So let's have a look at the answer button, and let's set this to 1400 maybe. Yeah, looks a bit better. I think I go back slightly, so let's go with 1350. I mean, the whole thing changes as soon as I'm in full screen. If I go back out, oh no, it doesn't really change much. One thing that I noticed is that I need to add a button down here to go back to the main menu. So let's add that. Let's see. This would be part of the overlay. And this doesn't. Yeah, no, let's put this up here and anchor it here. And let's push this up. No, minus. Yeah, let's put it here. Okay. And let's give this a size of 50. And text to it. Okay, 50 is not enough. Let's see, what did I have here? This is on a size box. And was an overlay. Okay. Wrap versus size box. And this is 50. I think the button here. Did I have a different margin for those? I think so. No, the margin is the same. But I think this is different. Nope, it's not. Strange. Okay, this is overlay and then the button. Zero padding there. And this here, padding of 20. think... Yeah, I think I will have this, and then I have 2 other buttons here, so I can go through all the options and change those. Yeah, let's do that. So change the what's happening when I'm clicking an option a bit, but that's also not done yet. So, okay. First let's go in here and change this. Call this back to main menu. Let's call this button back to main. And give this unclicked. Let's jump back into the main menu. It's there. Let's open level. Okay. Main. Okay. Let's compile this. Test it. I think this is not really stretched that much. So let's see, new game. We jump in here and we can jump back. Okay. Let's see if the options are in the right spot. Yes, they are. Yeah, some of these resolutions do not really work, but the 16:9 should work all. Something that I need to figure out and set up correctly. But I just saw that I still need to work on the main menu. And I need to add a volume slider, because this is too loud. Let's have a look at the options menu. Options, okay, options menu, and I think I will just change those and kind of wrap them in something that's holding all of them. So let's wrap this with be useful here. It's a menu anchor. Oh. Interesting. So I could create the options menus somewhere different and just throw that in there. Interesting. But what I need there is not that. I think it's just an overlay. That's all I need here. Let's give this a bit of padding, all sides. And now they should all be in the same space. Yep. Okay. I need to figure out where the volume is so that I can change that. Let's see. So I have nothing in here, to be honest. There's a directional light, but there's no geometry in this little... Quite sure if I really need all those lights as a result. But that's... I can think about that later. At the moment it's... I want to figure out if I can change the volume. So let's do that. Let's hide the main menu. Let's hide the resume menu. So I also think that For the option menu, this might need to be bigger. Oh, okay, this is... there's a background. It makes it gray, and then we have this because this is transparent. Interesting, good to know. So I still need to add that to this one here. If I want to have the background gray. No, I do have this blur, which doesn't really do anything if I have no stuff in the background, to be honest. Yeah, not sure. Let's add 2 more buttons here. And one would be here. And for that I need to find the buttons that I had there. I think then here. Yeah, here they are. So let's select this one. And let's anchor that down there. And can I duplicate that? Nope. Let's call this previous. And we start on construct. This should be hidden. And this part would move down here. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, we have this one. Okay. I need to set this visible then. So if we click next, this should be visible. Hello. Welcome back. And previous yeah, and here I need to check if we do have those buttons or not. So we have our question list. Let's get that. Break that link there. This is doing this. And here we get the links. -1. And here we do a branch. To move this to the side. So if that is bigger or equal, then we want this to happen, otherwise we want nothing to happen. So hello. Yeah, now we want to set those. So the question next will be here. And we want this to be visible. And here we do something similar for the other side. Okay. Have fun. What are you watching? So if that's bigger or equal to 0, then we want to do this. Yeah. And if it is 0, let's see, so if it's bigger, let's add something else here. Oh. Okay, so there is a live stream for Unreal Engine because they just went live. So I don't know what they are doing. So we'll have a look. And if it's something interesting, I might switch over. So where can I find this out? So this is not in, it wasn't in here, which is a bit strange. We figure out what they are doing there. Oh, it's a community-led live stream. Oh, okay. Stream interaction and friends list access. Yeah, I will watch that later. So let's continue on here. Sorry about that. So if this is... Let's check. Let's change this. So if this is equal to 0, we want this to happen at 0, but we also want to hide this one. And if question index is bigger than 0, then we want to have this happen. Otherwise, we don't want anything to happen. And if this is equal to 0, no, if this is equal to this, then this should be visible. And the button next should be hidden. Okay. And if that's false, then I need to check if this is bigger. Then this is happening, and those are both visible. Yeah, let's try that. So that's the first question. And if I click here, nothing happens. If I click here, it goes to the next question. Click to this one. This is the last one, and we don't have a button here anymore. But I should change this to have a bigger button here, start game, will completely change everything. Yeah. So the let's see, this been here. Let's make. I can't copy those. Damn it. So let's add another button. And just push this up here. This one. Let's copy that size. Just 80. Humble Bundle. That's the short answer to that. That's why I have so many games on Steam. Longer answer to that would be I spend too much money on games, maybe. Yeah, definitely. Let's put this to minus 200. Not minus 20, minus 200. Yeah. Definitely too many. The problem is that I will for sure never play all of them. There's just too many of those games that I will never play. Was what threw me off there. Okay, let's add text to this. No, this is supposed to be start. And let's add a clicked event to that. I think that's the right one. Nope, it wasn't the right one. What do I call it? Loading level. No, okay. Okay. So as soon as this is visible, we load the level, but we also set few variables. Let's see. Still need to figure out how I want to configure this part, because at the moment it's really lazy, to be honest. So if I go here, and if you read those answers, the order in which they are all for the same kind of character layout. If I click this, go here, click that, and click that, I will get predefined character. Or Sorry about that. Specific loadout. And it's not really in a way that I can really change anything with that. Okay, this is not visible. Okay, so if I go back, I need to make this visible again. Button previous. Okay, yeah, I also need to figure those out. So if that is 0, this is hidden and the other one is visible. If this is bigger than 0, then we have both of them. Both of them visible, yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So now I need to hide the start game button. And let's have this hidden from the beginning. And only set it to visible in this case. Otherwise hidden. Let's check that. Okay. I still need to add something between that. So I think when the last question is clicked, then you should get a text here and then the start button. kind of summary of what you created, and then the game will start. Let's add a list here, variable, and make this an array. Choices, and every time I click one of those, no, this doesn't work, because if I click it, then the thing is, I could click more than once on one page, and that would kind of screw the whole thing. So let's first delete all this. We don't need that. But what I originally wanted to do was just get this and add that choice to the list. But that doesn't really work the way. Because it would work if we would remove those previous and next buttons. So do I want to be able to get back and change my choices or not? Nah, I think I will remove this part here. So let's take this. Remove those. And remove this. The custom event. Next question. And then call this here. Let's construct this. No, let's make this different. Let's not put it in here. Set summary text. And then I need a text here. Let's make this a string to make it easier. And this is just a text. Okay, let's get the question list. No, we don't need the question list. We can just use the choices here. So for each of the choices that we made, give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. So for each of the choices, I will just append that to the string. And let's add this. And the array element here. No, this doesn't work. Oh, might work. Then we set this here. And once that is done, we do set the text. to our summary text. And if that is true, wait. Okay, I'm changing a few things here. So I'm moving this, setting this to hidden. Copy this. And if all this is false, then it is above our length of the array, and we can't do anything with it anymore. So we are setting this to visible, and we also set the summary text. Yeah. Let's try this and see what happens. So I'm clicking this, this, and this. Okay. That's correct. That's what I clicked. Let's go back. Let's click this, this, that. Also correct. Oh, this is still here. Yeah, I need to remove that. We don't need those anymore. Okay, what's the problem? Oh, yeah, because I'm setting this up here, which we don't need. But I also need to clear this. That's what I forgot. The next big thing I need to figure out is the real background information, the what each question gives you. And it kind of depends on what I've written in there. Something I need to change here. This would be I just saw something. In the first one, I'm using first person perspective, and here I'm switching to switching the perspective, so it's they found out about you as I volunteered myself. Okay. Okay, here I switched back to first person. Okay. Let's see. Really, what would be the best way to determine that? So we do have the choices, but I anything for each choice. Yeah, I need to really figure out what this is. At the moment, I'm just giving out the text. And I also need to maybe write different choices, because at the moment they're a bit limited. So, new game. So at the moment, this would be thief, this would be clerk, and this would be kind of mercenary hired gun. And if we look at the next answers, it's basically the same. Yeah. And no results at the moment, because I need to figure out I think this is the first time I have the character loaded in that way. And I think should be able to set the start quest and starting gear with save game data, maybe? Sure. But the idea is to have maybe 3 to 5 or 6 questions, and each of those questions would give an item or change a variable in the background. It's kind of the idea for this. Let's have a look at the questions again. So, first one. Okay, this would, breaking in somewhere would give a lockpick. Counting money would give money. The last one maybe would give a weapon of some kind. What would that give? I need to write those down. Let's close that. Create a new document. What I'm doing at the moment is copying this over here so I can kind of refine the text a bit and think it over a bit better. And also find typos and stuff like that. I just saw a few in there already. Okay. So, here we go. First typo. Yay. What are you doing? And it's supposed to be a question mark at the end. So, this is okay. So here we would get lockpicks. Money. Not sure yet. This would be still not sure yet about that one. This one would be money again. And this one would be a gun. And let's times that out. Let's see. Bring. And I might just change those that I don't know what I would give the player as a result. And for the game that I have in mind, roughly just clicking the money option wouldn't help much. It's more interesting to pick other options. Because some of the items you can't get otherwise. You will not get lockpicks unless you click that option. So a few doors will be closed off forever. What would you bring? But for this, you would be able to get a compass. But you will need to buy the compass. So but that's the market in town is for. You'd be able to go there and buy stuff that you might need. So let's and you don't really need all of that stuff. It's just bit of help, slight flavor. Oh, nice. Question for that. If you're texturing that, you're doing that in Substance Painter? Or are you creating materials in Blender so that I can use materials in Unreal? Because the second option would be... Okay. The thing is, the best option for what I have done so far is to just set a standard material, just a color in Blender, give it a name, and then do UVs, but not really a texture for it. That way I have more options in Unreal if I want to change the material on it. So, for instance, the where are my models? The house pieces here. Those are my modular pieces that I created. This just has something called wood matte, something called metal matte created in Blender. And then I just assigned a material to that. And if I don't like this kind of wood, I can just change this to something else. If I want to have it look like that, for instance. And it's an easy change for me, and I have more control that way. Something to keep in mind. I mean, this one wouldn't work properly because it has tiling on it, but it would work for floors and stuff like that. If I set this to oak, give it a bit of a different texture. In here, if you go to your object and then to material, and then you can create a new material, and then you can assign a different material that you have created before. For instance, this one, then you would create a new one, give it a name, and then, yeah, just assign it. And it makes it easier for me to assign the right material, and it also makes it easier for me to assign the same material to different objects in the world, so that I don't need to load 10 textures or 10 different materials, but just load one material for one substance, one object in the world. So all the wood would have the same texture, all the metal would have the same texture and stuff like that. So let's jump back in here. And this was give me a map. Oh, money again. Not quite sure. I mean, this is not important now, but I want to be able to change the clothing that you're wearing. Even though you're mostly in first person, but I'm not quite sure about that yet. If I want to be able to change that. Let's see. Oh wait, no, this would give me sword, and this would give me a gun, not bullets. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, let's keep the gun here. Let's have a look at that. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true. I so far tried to avoid those. Um, you can make this a different material, yeah. And then I just need to find material that would fit to that. Yeah. So far I haven't found anything like that, but I'm sure there's something out there that I can use. I think what I did so far is assign metal material to those end caps so that there's some kind of metal cap on top so that you don't see the same wood material here. But you're right, those are problematic. Yeah, I need to figure this out, but I still need to. I really need to find something like this anyway. I mean, if you want to, you can. Looks like you already have some images. You can send me those images and I can create a material for that. Yeah. The materials that I'm using here at the moment are just kind of placeholders. So, um, let's save this and then jump into the level again. It's too fast. I mean, this would kind of like the darker look here, but yeah, like I said, I need to go through those and figure out the good way to do that. One of the things I really need to change is this ground material here. This looks too cartoony. Let's see if we can find a better material for that. Um, Yeah, here you see that there are issues with the sides. Doesn't fit at all, but most of those sides you should never see. But if I go back in here, there's a different look. Wait, no. Let's open level blueprint again. Disable the sequence and jump in. Yeah, it looks a lot different as a result. Okay, we can't jump over that. That's interesting. Can I run and jump? No. It's too high. Yeah, that worked. Where the hell is the Smith? That's not good. I lost my Smith. Where did she go? Okay, there she is. Okay. I really like those the pattern and stuff like that, but they do not fit to the rest. They look too painted and kind of clash with the rest now. If everything is realistic, then this doesn't work. Okay, I just need to select the right material for that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, and I also need to move those candles in the right spot. Even though I might remove the candles and figure out another way to light my houses. Because I really don't like the candles. They do not really fit with the rest. they were part of the old asset pack that I used. But all of those assets use texture atlases, which is a good thing for optimization and mobile games and stuff like that. But as a result, the texture resolution is really, really bad on those, in contrast to the other textures I'm using. So oh, that's also something I need to change. The thing is, I bought this pack here at some point. Wait. Did I move those? Must have moved them. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, yeah. Let me show you my modular pieces in Blender. So let's take the foundation side. No, this one, but the foundation wall. Let's take this one. For instance, this is how I laid out the UVs for those. So that I'm using the complete width of the texture that I'm applying to, and in this case I'm just putting it next to the standard thing. So if I put two of them together, they should fit properly if the base texture in the material is tiling properly, and that's why I did it this way. Usually you have all your UVs on this, but I used it this way so that I have proper tiling and the same width for everything. And some of these only properly work because the material in Unreal itself is world aligning. So for instance, if I throw in this corner piece here, have a look at the top texture here. This is changing according to position in the world. So it kind of gets rid of any issues that I have in there for tiling and stuff like that, because it's just seams, and so I don't have any seams. That's what I wanted to say. Because the texture is just aligning to the world position, and if two of them are next to each other, then they use the same texture there. So if I align this here and put it in the same space, we don't get any Z fighting here, and it's aligning properly. That's what I did for those. That's how I've done it so far for this stuff. It doesn't mean that you need to do the same. It's just something that I thought was a good idea at the time, and it might not be the best idea to work with stuff like this. So if you have a better way, then go for it. Never said that this is the best way you can do everything like this. So it's just how I did it for my stuff, and it works for me. And it has one good thing, and that's for the, at least it would have one good thing if this thing would have worked properly. There would only be one wood material and one of each material on this, but in this case it's didn't work the way I wanted it to. There are two wood materials on it, even though they are the same. So, and I would need to throw this model into Blender and kind of rework it that way. And it's even worse with this house here, for instance. Because this house has a lot of different elements. And if I look here, I have a list of, a lot of duplicates in here. So we have the roof material here, roof material here, wood here, wood here, wood here. So 3 times the same wood. And I'm not sure if this really optimizes this a bit. Or if it's 3 times calling the same material and putting it, loading it 3 times. I'm not sure about that. But the idea was to cut down on textures and materials that I'm using and have a really small amount of materials that with which I can work, and then create master materials, instances, stuff like that to maybe change the look of 1 or 2 things. For instance, if I wanted to go here and where is it? Villa plaster. If I go here and throw in this one, then the house would turn orange. And I could create another instance for that and give each house a different color if I wanted to. And since those are instances, it's only a few parameters that are changed. So it loads the base material once and then only changes those values. So it's a really nice thing. Create another duplicate of this. And change the color to blue. Maybe lighter blue. Select this house. And the house is blue. And the funny thing about that is I could go in-game, maybe not for this game, but for another game, I could just create kind of a painting room where I could change the colors of the walls dynamically and stuff like that. It's easy to do with instances. Because I'm just changing one small value and the rest changes accordingly. Yeah, kind of. Okay, let's change this back to white because the blue doesn't work here. I mean, the orange kind of works, but the blue doesn't. But if I wanted to, I could also, let's see, could throw this. Let's create create an instance for this. Yeah, okay, this doesn't have any parameters here apart from textures, but this one, wait, did I change the, yeah, I think I changed the material here, and yeah, added in the color tint. Same with this one. Put a desaturation on the original material and then added a color tint. And that way I got those different roof colors here. And the only difference between those is this color parameter, basically. Kind of, yeah. There is, if I, where do I have this? Oh, I just found the other materials here. Interesting. Completely forgot about that. There are a few material functions that you can use. One of them is some kind of brick function, but you can also create board gaps with that. So you would have normal wooden texture and then maybe add striped alpha to the normal somehow, so that you would have the gaps in there. Not quite sure, but I think it would be possible. Let's see, maybe it's just let's create a material. Let's go to the textures here. The moment this would Yeah, it has a bit there. So let's see. Brick and tile UVs. Let's connect those. Let's give this 5. Texture tiling 2. This is the original, and this is the new one. I mean, for what I'm doing here, I can make all these and the textures parameters, and then have this as a base material and can change it around any way I like, basically. So for instance, if we convert this to a parameter, let's call this diffuse. Normal. Tiles X. Tiles Y. Let's remove that one. Let's change this to 2. this would be... let's see, what is that? Pattern distortion. Okay, let's save that. Let's go back to our materials. And I'm taking my wood test and create a material instance of that. And just change out the material here to, let's see, do something completely different, and then still have the kind of brick pattern in here. I want to change those to 5, those to 10, then I would have this. Now that's what we get from that. This will give a bit more kind of turbulence to that. You can create crazy stuff with this. Okay, this is Atlas. Something can't use for that. well. Yeah. I just played around with few grayscale and normal textures that I have here, just patterns, and this is some wood patterns here, or another strange pattern. Yeah, with something like this, I could even go so far and go back to this material here, and this is to change the name to diffuse, not diffuse, and then spell it correctly. I could do the do desaturation. About this parameter. And then multiply that by the color. Set it in here. Now I have red wood for the master material, and if I jump over here, I have this result. If I want this to be in a different color, then I can have it. Yep. And I can go even crazier, but I will not show this on this one, but can show you the water material. No, that's the wrong one. This is also crazy, but it's not what I wanted to show you. I want to show you the water material here. Come on, let's select the water. And the water material. This is crazy material because over time it moves the water normal in a specific direction, and I can set the speed, and I can set the watercolor, the light watercolor, and a lot of other stuff in here. Even though most of this shore depths I can set opacity, water depths, shore multiplier. I need to sort this out a bit better so that you can read it. And the result of this is something that you can't really see here, but you can see the map here. Let me push that down, and we could just. So for instance, the light watercolor I can tune down a bit. I can go crazy and make it green. Let's tune it down slightly. can make the speed of the waves faster. Slower. I can just completely stop them. And I can change the opacity. Can really push the refraction. Change the shore depths. Can go crazy on the normals. Yeah, this is that wasn't good idea. And I can also make this water a lot deeper. Let's see. And I hope I can make all this normal again. Yeah, okay. Okay. I mean, I could also make this look like more normal water. Slightly, at least. But I don't want to. Nope. I'm always pressing the wrong button. Yeah. And now it's trippy again. And what was the other thing I was doing was this? Oh yeah. The mushrooms. My shrooms. Those bubbles here. Have this material. Need to change this to linear color. And this material is slightly pulsating. And if I go to the instance here, I can change the colors. Base color, let's change this to orange, and pulsating color to maybe red, and then I think I will expose a few more parameters here. Let's convert those. Okay. Let's open up this. And I need to save this. And now I've access to those, and I can maybe change this here and double it. Maybe add a bit more to this. Or maybe less. Let's add less to it. Sure, we don't see anything here. Maybe I need to save those. Then it works. No. Okay, now these are really flashing. If I push this down to 5, it's not that much again. Let's put this to 2. Okay, now we barely see an effect there. Let's see, do I cup this here somewhere? No. Can also change the emissive power if I want to make this glow a lot more. Strange. There we go. Okay, now they really are flashbacks. What did I have there? This is interesting. I think I put this to 0.5. Give them a bit of glow. Yep. And if I wanted to, I could also have some kind of moving material and all that stuff. All the other stuff, all the other things that I could do with all this here. I mean, if I wanted to, I could make the water pulsate as well. Yeah, it's magic, so definitely. I mean, would you like to drink wine that's in a lake for about 100 years? Probably not. Yeah, I mean, you can try it once, that's for sure. change another material here. Where is it? There it is. Crystal material. So 0.5 was a good number. Oh, I'm clamping this here, so let's not clamp this. I think yeah, somehow the glow doesn't work for this one. Yeah, I think it's the base textures for those are the problem. I painted this in Substance Painter, and I think the textures that I got from it are not that good. I mean, it kind of works, but find it strange that the border completely disappears. Let's see, if I set this to 1, then let's, oops. Where is it? Crystal pack, no. Props, yeah, here it is. That's the UV of it. And those are the border pieces here, I think. But the thing is, I'm using one material for that and based on one texture. And the textures are not pure black and white, so that's kind of the issue, that there's a bit of gray all over this face, so I can't just make this glow and this not glow. Yeah, it's way too high poly for the size, basically. I mean, it's 120 triangles, it's small, but um, I'm not sure. Oh, I just saw time. I'm way over time. Um, I will be back on Thursday, because tomorrow is my day off. And then probably have a better idea what I want to do with this stuff here. With the questions and what kind of items or stuff like that I will give the character. And then we'll implement that part. So yeah, you can see that the texture here. This is what I have to work with. If I only take the green channel, this is gray and not completely black. If I take this, then this is not completely white. So it's nor here nor there. It's a bit of a strange texture for that. And I just noticed that I maybe should create a master material for all those pulsating assets in the game. What did I change here? I exposed a few things, right? So let's save that. I think. Or I just pushed stuff around. Could also be that. case. Yeah, and this was just something to play around with. Yeah, I can close those off here later. Okay, yeah, like I said, I will be back on Thursday. So, bye bye.